What's up, everyone? This is Emilio. I'm here in Detroit, Michigan. I'm in the Morningside neighborhood, and I'm shooting a video today because I'm at a house, and it's going to be potential wholesale or a rehab for me. And haven't shot a video in a while, honestly, because of the COVID thing. It's kind of like messed up my shooting schedule. Got my new mask though, my clothing, you like my music, my notes and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So, anyways, yeah, I feel like a ninja in this thing. Looking at myself in this camera. So what I was gonna do is I was just gonna walk this house. You know, I'm back to looking at houses again. You know, obviously wearing the mask. COVID is really high here in Detroit. I don't know who's watching from other states and go to other countries, but here in Detroit, it's extremely. Well, I think we're like the Michigan is the top 5 in the nation, and Detroit, COVID is just like plowing through this city, so you gotta just be really cautious. Got my mask out today, yeah. So purpose of this video is I'm just gonna show you one of the houses I'm looking at, so you can see the rental properties down here. I'm gonna talk about the rehab and what I see, and kind of just like talk through it, kind of determine a rehab cost. But again, all the rehab costs that I have are just guesstimates. Really, what you want to do is you want to talk to your general contractor, make sure you guys are both on the same page as far as what you want to do. So what I do is I take a bunch of pictures. I take about 50 to 100 pictures, and I show them to the contractor, and they kind of guess from the pictures, and if it actually the numbers make sense, then I'll get it under contract, and then he'll come out with me, and then he'll verify my guesstimate. So if I say it's like 50 or 30, he'll come up and he'll say, I went to a house yesterday, I thought it was gonna be 40. He goes, man, you could do it for 25. I went to another house, I said it'd be 60, it ended up being 80. So I'm still off on my numbers. I'm still learning how to do guesstimates, but I'm getting better. So what I could do is I could show you what I'm learning now, what I've been learning, and how we're gonna estimate some of these rehab costs. Okay, so here we are. We're on this street. It's like a bunch of brick houses. Actually, this street looks kind of hit up, but I'll be honest, this area is up and coming. This is the Morningside area. A lot of these houses that are really messed up, people are just gutting the crap out of them and rehabbing them really nice. But across the street, you know, you can see, look at that, the freaking garage fell down. There's freaking mattresses. They evicted a tenant out. There's garbage here on the floor here. So here's the front of the house. It's a 3 1.5. There's a bathroom in the basement. We figure that the ARV in this area is going to be about like 125 plus. After being on this street, I'd probably say conservatively 115 to 125. So looking at it out here, the first thing that I do is I just use the top-down method. So I start from the top and I move my way down. So the one thing I notice, I start with the top, which is the roof. And if you can see right there, obviously, let me just go. This is really bad. So you're going to need to tear off this whole roof, because if you come over here on the edge, you can see like how it's just deteriorating. You can see through the roof, totally deteriorated. So you're gonna want to do new decking on there, and then put a whole new roof on there. That's gonna be about 6,000, 8,000, I would say. But again, confirm with your contractor, because they would have to measure it out. Another thing that I look at is windows. Windows look like these are to be original windows. We'll go inside and we'll check that out. But what I do is I'll count out the windows. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 on this front side. And then there's 10, 11, 12 over here. 12, 13. So 13 on this side. I should walk on the other side, and then I'm gonna assume that there's 5 on that side. So let's say 20 on the end of back end too. Hold on. There's usually about 25 to 30 plus windows on a single family. Yeah, so there's 2 back there. So if we say, well, what are we at now? Like 12, 5 on that side, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Those are 3 windows right there. So let's say about 25, 30 windows. Obviously, I'll do a more confirmed count after this video is done shooting. There's a lot of debris here. It's not that bad, but one thing that I noticed back here is this tree. Trees are really heavy. So when you cut this down and you put it into a dumpster, it'll be pretty heavy. Got to get rid of that garage. You probably could up the value by putting another garage here. That garage would be about $10,000. And really, this isn't a video for me to do the ins and outs of like details of rehab. I'm just kind of walking through it, just brainstorming. Gutters, you'll need gutters, obviously, here. And with this tree, another thing too with this tree, I might trim these trees back. Because, see, they already started right there. They trimmed one of the trunks there. Maybe trim it back. Just because, man, like, that's really high above the house. If one of those branches were to fall on the house, that could be liability. Got some steps here. I actually don't know what the steps would cost. I talked to my contractor about that. Now, this house is pretty nasty. We're gonna go through the back end. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's walk as we were walking in through the front door. Normally, I have my crowbar with me because sometimes there's fucking squatters in these houses, man. This house is pretty nasty though. So front entryway here. Did they even lock this door? Oh no, it's fucking open. Jesus. Surprised there isn't a squatter in here. Anyways, entryway. Steps going up. You can see some of the lathe here has got to get replaced. Obviously, I would probably take all this plaster, and since it's already deteriorating, take all of it down and start from scratch. Same with these walls here. If this is plaster, you could just take all this plaster off and just gut it. I mean, the whole house is going to be gut anyways. It's up to you. You can paint over it, but a lot of people are either putting drywall over it or just knocking it down and then gutting it straight from down to the studs. They're doing that on the house in Jefferson Chalmers. I'll probably be going there after this just to shoot another recap video. Now this video, this window right here, this is actually a vinyl window. These are all vinyl windows right here. So you could probably just deep clean these windows. Let's see, can you make this thing bigger? Widen out this doorway here? Potentially, yeah. You could probably make this wider. Oh, let's step back further. You can make this wider, give it a big, more open concept feel. Again, drywall up here. And they peeled back the carpet to see how the floor looks underneath. There is hardwood floor, but I mean, look, there's parts of it where chunks of it. That's just plywood. So there's probably something wrong with the flooring underneath, and they just cut it out. Put plywood there and then put carpet here. Not a big deal. We could put carpet through this whole house. And then again, not 3 windows, but one big sliding window. And you can see how there's moisture here on the top. Because I don't know where the moisture would be coming from. Probably because if there's no gutters, the water is hitting it and then would recede back into the house, I would assume. That rot right there looks pretty concerning. Probably point that out to the contractor as well. Let's go to the kitchen. Standard kitchen. Bones in this house are pretty good. I noticed here, because there is that open space right there, water is getting into the house, hitting the subfloor, and that subfloor is actually cracked underneath there, so subfloor is a little weakened. But vinyl windows there, vinyl windows here. I mean, that's a pretty big budget item. But yeah, knock out this kitchen, granite countertops. What you could do too is like take this wall and just freaking knock it out, make it a lot bigger. You could potentially use that dining room area there and expand and do something creative here where you could do open concept and knock this wall out and then move the gas line to somewhere else in the kitchen. Or you could do an island here. That'd be kind of cool. So I'd probably say $8,000-$10,000 for the kitchen. And the reason why I know it's $8,000-$10,000 just because I've seen enough scope of works from my contractor to know what their numbers are usually going to be. But again, every market's different. And this window right here, this is the original wood window behind here, so that has to be replaced. The steps here are pretty solid. I mean, the bones are good. This house is just really just deteriorated, and just there's a lot of crap in here too. And again, in here, this one, the walls look actually pretty good. Oh, actually, no, wait. No, I'd probably say knock this stuff down, put drywall here, but the walls look okay. Scrape and paint, maybe? I don't know. Actually, this is here, too. I don't know. Talk to your contractor about it. But if you are doing windows, too, you need new windows here. If you are doing a rehab, best thing to do is, honestly, if you have it in your budget, you could demand more on the back end because it's going to feel like a new house. So take this plaster and just freaking rip it out. The roof is giving way too here, so you can see some of the water is coming here and kind of messing that up. Original wood windows here, original wood window there. It's the third bedroom in here. I'm not going to step in there. That is nasty. And you can see right here too. I bet there, water had come through there, that ceiling and that little part right there, and it's just crumbled that ceiling part. Bathroom. Actually, the tile in here is pretty straight. It's a little cracked over there, but pretty much held up. But if you want to do the whole new feel, I would gut this whole thing out. But this tile might be sellable, actually. This is kind of cool tile. I always think this style, the honeycomb style, is pretty cool. Okay, new doors. You need 6-panel doors. And one thing to notice too is that there are no vents in here. That means that this is a boiler system. So because you're starting from scratch, and because you could like tear all this plaster out, you could actually just convert this house to a furnace. To a forced air. You could tell that this was a boiler system because there was a hole in the ground here. That's where like the radiator is. And sometimes if the radiator here is against the wall, they don't paint behind the radiator. So there was a radiator here and they just couldn't paint behind it. So yeah, so there's another expense. You're going to need your mechanicals. Let's go to the basement. You need a water heater and a forced air furnace, and you have to reduct the whole house. So that's going to be about $6,000 to $8,000 depending on your market and depending on your contractor. So here's the basement. Now, I don't see any water in the basement, which is good. So the bones of this house is solid. I like the bones. Neighborhood's up and coming neighborhood. Comps are starting to climb here. There was a house that sold not too far from here for $150,000. So the asking on this one is $45,000. Honestly, if your rehab budget was $80,000, you could be all in it for $120,000, $130,000. No, I don't think it's going to be $80,000. I think that this will probably be $50,000, $55,000, $60,000. Anyway, so you can also tell that it's a boiler because of this pipe right here, and right here is the out port. So the boiler sat right here. Actually, and all the plumbing is gone out of here too. So you're gonna need all new plumbing. You need a water heater, electrical probably. Looks like there's a box here, but I don't really see any electrical down here. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Never mind. So there's electrical down here. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's reconvene. So this was just a quick run through. I think I just stuck in dog shit. Gross! That's disgusting. And it's starting to rain. Okay. Woo! Oh, let's get back to the car.